Welcome to Successful Living. I'm your host, Rob Auclair, financial planner at Balanced Wealth Management in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. On today's show, we're going to talk about being compassionate and how you can actually help, obviously, other people by being compassionate, but how you can help yourself and live a happier lifestyle. We're then going to be joined by our real estate expert, Chad Kritzis from HomeSmart Real Estate. And Chad's going to talk about current market conditions along with what makes a difference when selling your home. We're then going to move into mutual funds, how they work, how to read some reports, and how to make the right choices for yourself at different points in your life. And then finally, a lot of us hear about target date funds, especially in our 401ks. We have a viewer question about that, and we'll talk a little bit more in detail about that. But let's get started. Our word of the day today is compassionate. And compassionate is a feeling or showing sympathy or concern for others. So compassion, we see a lot of times, can be found in our career as nurses, doctors, coaches. Anytime we're helping somebody, we can see the compassion there. But we also see it when people volunteer, especially when they get into retirement and have some extra time. And when they, volunteer, what we saw was a big uptick. There was a statistic out there. There was a 20% increase last April in the Red Cross and other different places to volunteer. So, people really kind of come to the rescue. A lot of us, we live very stern and strict lifestyles, but people do, when there is need, do volunteer. Compassion can also help us kind of take the view off of ourselves, and it kind of puts you in someone else's position. And that other perspective can really help reduce stress, kind of make you understand, hey, it could be worse, and I'm fortunate from where I'm sitting today. So let's take a look. There are a lot of benefits to compassionate, so let's take a look at that. So first benefit is it makes you feel good. So it's actually been proven that compassionate actions, such as giving time or money to charity, activates pleasure circuits in the brain and stimulates the release of oxytocin. And that is something that gets released, makes us actually happier. Number two, creates the carryover effect. Extending compassion toward others shifts the brains towards a more positive orientation. As a result, when we're compassionate, we tend to notice the positive things happening around us. Number three, you can make you more resilient to stress. So being compassionate can lower stress hormones in blood and strengthen the immune response. Number four, it can lead to more meaningful relationships. By being compassionate, it helps you understand other people at a deeper level. You develop better connections with those people, which leads to stronger friendships and more meaningful relationships. And then finally, it starts a chain reaction. So some social scientists at Harvard prove that helping others is contagious. Witnessing acts of kindness and compassion inspires others to be compassionate also. So I think, this shows you that there's actually some physicality or some mental stimulation that when we see other people helping people, it can make us feel good and just kind of makes the world feel better. But it can be difficult, as we know. So how do we become more compassionate? First way is, to recall how others have comforted you. Early in my career, I was looking to talk to anyone, and I called along my Providence College alumni. And I'll tell you what, the response that I got from those people, very high-end people at NBC News, CBS News, and a few other people, they took me in, people at very high-profile jobs, and I'll never forget that. They gave me an opportunity. Number two, put a human face on suffering. That is just identifying, not just saying, hey, I'm compassionate. For me, when I have a chance to retire, one of the things I uncovered in my life is when my dad was sick and I saw a young, child going through, cancer therapies, that I said, listen, that's what I want to be part of. And that's kind of the identity that I have in my head. Number three, look for commonalities. So, if there's something that someone helped you out with, now it's time for you to give a little bit of, payback and help them. Number four, respect your inner hero. As you grow older, you may not recognize this, and I have a tough time seeing this, is that some people look at you as someone that's here because you've had so many great experiences. And you need to recognize that, and you need to use that as a teaching tool. And then finally, notice how good it feels to be compassionate, helping a younger person find a job maybe, coaching someone to help them improve in life. Sometimes that trumps making more money. So hopefully that's helpful. And when we return, we're going to be joined by Chad Kritzis from HomeSmart Realty. Stay tuned.